Wait, is my model looking? I look so dead. I'm so dead inside. I'm so tired. I haven't used this gun for such a long time. Oh my god. Wait, I didn't even bring my bottle with me, but whatever. Hello. I don't know if you can hear me because I'm putting my mic a bit far away from me. Oh. Hello and welcome to Umineko no naku koro ni. Welcome to Rokkenjima. I can't remember where I stopped last. Can't remember. Okay, yeah, whatever, let's start. was it this way? Right, load. Yes, I know how to play. Yes. I hope the audio is okay. Maybe it's a bit too loud. Maybe I'll put that down. Maybe I should open my God. Never mind. Okay. The four of us cousins were enjoying our stories, just shooting the breeze. Anyway, there were both girls and guys here. Plus, we had people of a wide spread of ages, adult, high school, and elementary school. Even though we just talked about our own lives, the other three kept listening attentively. I think I'm finally getting used to all of this. Jessica and Maria have grown more than I could have imagined in the past 6 years. To be honest, I was feeling a bit uncomfortable, but talking like this, I guess that on the inside, nothing's really changed since back then. I agree. You haven't changed a bit, even after 6 years. Even though your body's gotten gigantic, you're still a kid inside.
Ooh, I'm a kid too. I'm a kid too.
Even you aren't gonna be a kid forever, are you, Maria? I mean, you're gonna transform from a kid into a cute young lady, aren't you? And when that happens, that floods up. What is that? Oh. And when that happens, that flat ass a bored chest will reach Jessica's level, Dude, that's a fucking kid. Don't talk about that about kid. Oh my goodness. That Bethla, you please be embarrassed about yourself. When that happens, you gotta let. No, don't. I don't want to read that. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Dude, she's a kid.
Ooh.
Oh no, Maria, no. No. No, Maria-chan. You cannot make that kind of promise. That's bad.
Ooh. I promise I'll let him touch him. I keep my promises. Always keep them. Ooh.
Maria, you really are an earnest good girl. The guy you marry is gonna be really lucky. Hey, stop trying to change the subject and making it sound pretty. Maria, that promise never happened. Never.
Ooh. The promise is cancelled? Ooh.
As I thought, without Batlagoon and all of the quartet, this group of cousins just didn't feel complete. These 6 years have been kind of lonely. That's true. We didn't really goof off like this. Still, we did have some pretty constructive conversations, right? Stuff about preparing for our exam, a little bit for our future exam, finding jobs. Oh, I'm so sorry. Now that I'm here, we just talk about stupid stuff and mess around. But I'm having more fun this year. Oh wait.
But I'm having more fun this year. Ooh.
That's true. I agree, this year's the most fun yet. Maria's sincere words probably spoke forever in present. George Aniki stroked Maria's head and she giggled like a happy kitten. Aww, oh, that's so cute. I wonder what's gonna happen oh, pardon me. Your meal is ready. A timid knocking sound and the equally timid voice of a young woman came through the door. Jessica answered brightly. Shannon, come in. You remember Bethel, right? Oh. Jessica stood up from the bed and opened the door. There stood a servant girl who must have been about our age.
It's been quite some time since we last met, Bethel-sama. It's nice to see you after 6 years. It's me, Shannon.
Trembling a little as she noticed me, she bowed deeply. Ah. Jessica had me surprised, but look at you, Shannon-chan. You have turned into a total beauty too, haven't you?
Yeah, too kind.
Still, the food is... The food on this island must be really nutritious now, huh? What are you eating and how are you training to... Oh god, not that thing again. Bethel, I'm gonna murder you. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wait. What's wrong with him? Honestly. Guess I'll have to fill him a bit and see whatever yours or Jessica's are bigger, okay? With both hands poised and saliva dribbling from my mouth, I closed in. For the sake of justice and my personal honor, I would like to point out that I don't suffer from someone's strange disease that makes my lymph nodes itch until I scratch my neck open, which can only be prevented. Right. This is just a battle-style method of communication. If I slowly close in on her like this, odds are 8 or 9 out of 10 that I get slapped or clobbered, right? So I can use this Bethel-sama original technique to spark a gag like that and break the ice. Well, it also means I do really get to touch them on that 1 in 10 chance though, right? Like that would ever happen. Oh no. At that point my hands were less than a centimeter away from Shannon-chan's boobs, but the counter-strike had yet to come. She blushed and lowered her head in embarrassment when she realized what was going on. Dude! But she just stood there with both hands politely joined in front of her, not even trying to resist or cover her breasts. Hey, I wasn't planning on this. Please hit me right now, or I'm seriously gonna... Well, you asked for it. Which is why I was glad that Jessica chose that time to drive her elbow into the back of my head. Thank you so much, Jessica. Why the hell are you thanking me? Seriously, my bad, Shannon-chan. I almost got overwhelmed by your hypnotic chest. More importantly, anyone who gets that close has gotta be a molester. You've gotta fight back when people do that.
But you are an important guest, Bethel-sama.
Now look here, a pervert's a pervert, whether he's a girl or not. A girl's chest has got an air defense identification range of about 10 centimeters. Oh my god. Once someone trespasses within 2 centimeters, that's already an invasion of airspace, so you would better scramble the jets immediately and give him an instant slap.
I couldn't do such a thing, because we are, furniture.
Of course she didn't want her breast touched, but if a guy so desired, she was prepared to sacrifice herself to sit her— Oh my god, Shannon. No. A girl like this needs some urgent protection. To think that such devoted girls still exist in this era, that's enough to make a man dizzy. But no. No. I'm coming at you with a perverted face again. Knock me down. Look out, pervert on the loose. This gag cannot end until you deliver the punchline, so slap me. Please. Hit me.
I cannot fulfill your request, because I'm furniture. But if it were an order, I'd obey you. Because that is my duty.
Then I'll make it in order. The next time Bethel can tries to touch your breast, counterattack with a slap. Got it? Aww.
Yes, as you wish. From now on, that's what I'll do. Please understand, Bethel-sama.
Shannon announced this while bowing elegantly to me. Her expression was radiant. I gave her a thumbs up to show her I was fine with that. 6 years ago, you might have been mistaken for a servant's daughter who lent a hand at your parents' work. But now you're a fully fledged adult servant. How long have you been working here?
Well, I've had the pleasure of serving this household for about 10 years.
So, since she was 8? She is Shannon. The kanji for her name I'll read as Shannon. Now, here's another name that's far from typical for a Japanese person. Back in the day, I was a kid myself, so I accepted her name without paying it much attention. Thinking about it now, though, her name's pretty unusual, even though she's not a member of the Ushiromiya family. Maybe it's like a servant's professional name or something. So that might explain why her name's so similar to Kanan-kun, that kid I met earlier in the Rose Garden. She's a long-term servant who's served here since she was 6 years old. Her appearance had changed so much that I couldn't match her to the person of my memories, but we both knew each other 6 years ago. That shy part of her had always been there, but she did seem to have developed the allure you'd expect of a girl her age. Especially in all my please stop talking about that. That kid we met earlier, Kanan-kun, is her little brother.
He's not exactly my little brother. Still, he loves me like a big sis. He didn't cause you any trouble, did he?
He's the same as always. If only he were just a bit more sociable.
I apologize if he's caused you any trouble.
Nah, he didn't cause any trouble at all. As a fellow man, I understand how moody you can get at that age. It's no surprise he's unsociable. I like always feel like making her voice. Hold on. Let me. La 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 la. There we go. Because at the moment I don't get music a bit loud. Oh, okay. Now I can see your comment. Is it? Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. I think this is fine, yeah. Wait, hold on, I need cushion. I am so short right now. Ow, my knee. Ah, oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Height increased.
Oh, I get called that all the time too. I get called unsociable, just like Canon. Ooh.
You're not unsociable at all, Maria-sama.
Ooh. Wanted to be like him. Ooh.
You said the meal was ready, right?
Yes. I'm sorry. Your meal has been prepared, so please allow me to guide you all to the mansion.
Shannon bowed again formally and returned to her duty mode. We realized that if we made her stick around for any more conversation, it would actually make it harder for her to do her job. We got up off our butts to avoid interfering with her work any further. So, shall we go to the mansion? Everyone's probably hungry, right? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Goda-san's food. That guy was apparently a chef. at this famous hotel, so he's super good at cooking. Ooh, I cannot wait. Let's go, Maria. We're gonna stuff ourselves like pigs.
Ooh, stuff ourselves like pigs!
No. You cannot take everything Battlecune says seriously, okay? Because he's always just joking around. Okay, let's go. Oh my god, Joji's like, oh... Look, stop causing chaos. I'm just here to control stuff. Wait. Oh, whoops. Under Shannon Chan's guidance, we headed towards the mansion. Why is it still morning? I thought it was supposed to be nighttime. Met once again by the magnificent rose garden, we continued onward as the intimidating mansion of the Shiromiya head family came into view. It had apparently been built shortly after the war, so you could feel the dignity of almost a half-century hanging out about it. The building was gorgeous on the surface, but old as it was, equipment such as its AC and heating were apparently quite frail. According to Jessica, midwinter was especially tough with all the drafts. Haven't these people ever heard of kotatsu? Hey, I don't think so. If they are a bit westernized and traditional. As we entered the entrance hall, an aged servant greeted us. Now, him I remembered. Genji-san, who had been working here longer than anyone, filled the role of head servant. Battle-sama, it has been quite some time since we last met. As our eyes met, he greeted me with a calm, composed voice. His bow wasn't as graceful as or refined as Goda's, but despite its simplicity, it communicated his feelings very well. Genji-san, it really has been a while. You look well. Thank you, I have been quite well. And Battle-sama, you have become a splendid young man. You are beginning to resemble the master in his youth. Oh, really? I look like grandfather? I guess that means my grandfather was pretty popular with ladies when he was young. I'm pretty sure you're right. From here on, I shall take Shannon's place and accompany you. Please come this way. Shannon chanced bowed deeply and watched us leave. After that, we headed towards the dining room under Genji-san's guidance. Genji-san, just like Kumasawa-san, stood in stark contrast to us young people who had grown beyond recognition over the last 6 years. His appearance was exactly the same as in my memories from 6 years ago. It was though time had stopped since the last time we met. Genji-san was an extremely quiet and diligent person. He was basically grandfather's close aide or caregiver. And you might even call him grandfather's companion of many years. I need to turn on my TV because it's a bit quiet. Hold on. Maybe I should turn the aircon off while I'm at it. Hold on. I have returned. In fact, it seems he was by grandfather's side even more often than my late grandmother was. According to Jessica, grandfather trusted him more than any of his blood relatives. But I wonder how long he served. I never got the details, but I heard something about him being here since the very beginning when this mansion was first constructed. Which would mean that he's dedicated half of his life to serving here. It's easy to see why he's so trusted. As we passed through a massive hall that extended up into the second story of the mansion with no separating floor, I spotted something that hadn't existed in my memory of 6 years ago. Oh, wait, I think I know what. Please, where's the reveal? It is! Oh my god! Oh my goodness! It's hurry up. Ah, god, it's taking so long. It's her. It's her. Wow, she's so pretty. It was an awfully big portrait hanging right in front of the stairs that rose to the second floor. Without thinking, I stopped walking, captivated by it. Since I had stopped so fast, Maria, who was following behind me, ran into my bag.
Oh!
Sorry. Hey, Jessica. Has that picture always been there? I pointed at the big, prominently displayed portrait in the hall. Everyone else stopped too. Oh, right. When you last came here, that hadn't been hung yet, had it? When was it again? Well, if my memory doesn't fail me, it was put on display sometime around the year before last. You are correct, sir. In April of the year before last, the master put it on display there, having previously ordered a painter to create it. Is there audio? Yeah, music is okay. Did I turn off the? Yep, I did. Grandfather did that, so he paid to have it painted just for him, huh? Wait, hold on. Where is my? This is game capture, right? Capture cursor? No. Okay. Now you cannot see my cursor. The portrait suited this western mansion, and that woman in the elegant dress gave off a sense of refinement. I couldn't have guessed her age, but her sharp eyes and the strong will she seemed to possess made her look youthful. She seemed somehow different from the composed, middle-aged women you often see in famous pictures. If she would had normal black hair, I might have assumed it was a portrait of my long-deceased grandmother in her prime. However, she had beautiful blonde hair and didn't look Japanese at all. So, just who is this lady? Maria answered that simple question enthusiastically, as though proud she knew the answer.
Oh, I know. She's Beatrice.
Oh, what? Beatrice. She's a witch. Didn't you ever hear stories about her long ago? A witch? You mean the witch of this island? I think I already said this, but Rokkenjima is a small island, only 10 kilometers in circumference. However, that's actually pretty massive, considering that only the Ushiramiya family lives here. So, only the harbor and the area around the mansion were set up to be lived in. Beyond that, the island remained as untouched as when it was uninhabited. The vast and empty forest had absolutely no lights, phones, or people passing through. To understand how dangerous that is, you need to forget your common sense as a city dweller. After all, if you happen to fall down a hole in the depths of the forest and sprain your ankle, no one would come save you, no matter how much you cried or screamed. Sounds like foreshadowing. Then, once the sun went down, the forest would be wrapped in complete darkness, since there were no streetlights, and since there were no signs, it would be easy to get lost and confused, losing your sense of direction inside the dark forest. Nowadays, most people see a forest as a peaceful place, but to the people of bygone eras, before the light of civilization drove out the night, forests were as geographically separated from civilization as the sea. There were oceans above the ground, fishermen who go out into the ocean are putting their lives at risk despite their technical knowledge. In the same way, hunters who go out to the forest are in danger despite having specialized knowledge of their own. If children were to go in such dangerous if children were to go play in such a dangerous forest, something terrible might happen. Someone's parents must have thought so. Maybe grandmother first said it, or maybe it was grandfather himself. Or perhaps the story's been passed down on this island since ancient times. There's a terrible witch in the forest, so you must not go in. At some point, this ghost story of Rokkenjima was born. This is the legend of Rokkenjima's witch. That is why... Wait, I need to screenshot this, hold on. How about clear? Oh yeah. Is that a screenshot? Oh yeah, okay, got it. That is why when we talk about a witch on this island, we are referring to the master of the vast and savage forest. Come to think of it, when I stayed at this mansion as a little kid during those eerie nights, when the wind and rain pounded on the windows, I remember being terrified by the story of the forest witch who roam around searching for human sacrifices. So, Beatrice, huh? When Aniki mentioned it, I searched my memory and was sure I recalled hearing a name like that when I was little. Oh, I see. Still, I totally forgot that the witch in that legend had an elegant name like Beatrice. So, did grandfather go out of his way to have the portrait made just because we grandchildren didn't believe the story? She's the witch from grandfather's delusions. Ever since he had this picture hung, he's been having a harder and a harder time telling the difference between truth and fantasy. To us, she's just a witch that exists in grandfather's mind, but to him, she's a being that exists on this island. Exists. He says he had that painting made because the rest of us would be incapable of understanding otherwise. The whole thing's creepy as hell. My lady, this portrait is precious to the master. I beg of you, do not say such things in front of him. I know. Even if you didn't tell me, I'd never do something like that. Jessica glanced at the portrait with an irritated gaze before turning away. Let's go. We're making everyone wait in the dining room.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Only a small portion of this island was controlled by the Shiromiya family. All of the lawless remainder was the domain of the witch, Beatrice. You might even call her the true ruler of Rokkenjima. I felt a faint revival of that sudden sense of misfortune, which I had felt when I learned of the God's shrine being struck by lightning. And I remembered that Kumasawa-san tried to tell an ominous story about Rokkenjima before Jessica stopped her. I don't know what she was planning to tell us about this island, but I do know one thing. It isn't the Shiromiya family that rules Rokkenjima. It's the witch, Beatrice. That's right. After all, this is the witch's island. Battler. Oh,
Bethel, ooh, you're slow.
when I looked around, everyone was already heading towards the dining room. I hurriedly chased after them. Oh, good. Wait. my skirt kinda stuck. We walked up to the huge double doors that led to the dining room. Genji-san knocked. I have brought the children. Please pardon the intrusion. The doors were open and we were invited inside. The dining room, which looked exactly like you imagine a rich person's dining room to be, had a super long table that was obviously positioned with no purpose other than to make the guests conscious of their rank. Our parents were already sitting in accordance with their ordering. You're late, brats. Hurry up and take a seat. That old bastard pressed us to sit. The only gaps in that group of people were the spots we were supposed to sit, which only made us feel our tardiness all the more. The seat at the head of the table, called the incipient's chair, was for the most highly ranked, reserved for grandfather. It was still empty. He probably wanted to show up last for dramatic effect. From the perspective of someone facing the incipient's chair head-on, the sitting order went from left to right, with the lower ranking. Oh my god, hi Mio. Sits progressing in rows of the two further away from it. So the left-handed side of the first row closest to the incipient's chair was where Uncle Kraus should have sat, since he was the second highest in rank. It looked like he hadn't arrived yet, so that seat was empty. Across from his chair on the right side of the first row sat the eldest daughter of the family, Aunt Ava, who was the third highest in rank. The left-hand side of the second row was for the fourth highest in rank. There sat my damn dad, Rudolph, the third of the siblings. Across from him, on the right side of the second row, sat Aunt Rosa, the youngest sibling. At this point, you might expect their husbands and wife to come next. But nope, the left-hand seat in the third row, ranked number 6, belonged to Jessica. Opposite was Georgie Aniki. I sat next to Jessica, and Maria sat across from me. Then finally next to me on the left-hand side of the fifth row sat Aunt Natsuhi. Aunt Natsuhi, the 10th highest in rank. Opposite her was Uncle Hideyoshi. Next to Aunt Natsuhi in the 6th row, and the final seat on the left-hand side sat Kirie-san. The seat opposite to Kirie-san was empty, even though silverware had been set there and everything. According to this ranking system, that spot was where Aunt Rose's husband should be sitting. Even though he wasn't supposed to be coming, his place was made up. Normally, a ranking system of this sort give spouses equal positions as their partners, but the Ushiromiya family system was unique. Maybe it's a remnant of male chauvinism. If you start with the assumption that a woman's womb is just something to be borrowed, then the children of direct descent would come first, directly followed by the grandchildren. In other words, spouses have no blood ties and are therefore placed at the end of the line. That's terrible, but this system, my grandmother would be ranked even lower than me, if she were still alive. In their youth, they would obey their father. After they got married, their husband. After aging, their children. What? No way, that's fucking bullshit. Nah, no. Okay, nope. Whoa, hold on. Okay. There's the old saying, women have no money in any what? Ew, what kind of culture is this? Long ago, when I was still incapable of figuring all this out, I had thought it was so great that we could all chat in our little groups, adult siblings with adult siblings and cousins with cousins. However, now that I can examine the sitting order after growing up a bit, it stirs up some very complicated feelings in me. Aunt Natsuhi, who was married to the eldest son and was the de facto number 2 in managing this family, sat to my right, which meant that she was 2 steps lower than me in the ranking order. The moment, oh god, yeah. It was hard to imagine what might be going inside her heart. That is why I made a small apologetic gesture towards her before sitting down. How nice to see you, Butler-kun. You've grown quite tall, haven't you? Oh, yep. 6 long years of eating well, sampling various cuisines, and deriving sustenance from Mother Earth's bountiful gifts. Hard work, but I pulled through. Growing just like a boy, I see. How tall are you now? I guess about 180 centimeter. But Aunt Natsuhi, that's where you're supposed to say heck knows. Heck sounds like all you did was eat.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
After a short pause, she did laugh with me, but it seemed she couldn't quite figure out what she was supposed to be laughing at. This woman is Aunt Natsuhi. She's the wife of the eldest son of the family, meaning she's my father's older brother's wife. That's a long title. Is it simpler if I just call her Jessica's mother? It feels bad to say it like this, but well, I didn't exactly dislike her. I didn't particularly like her either. She hardly ever spoke with us kids, and all my memories of her involve her talking to the adults about complicated things with a scary look on her face. In fact, since we hardly ever exchanged words, I spent a long time trying to figure out how I should approach her, though my efforts seemed to have ended in failure. The silverware sat neatly on the table, but the meal itself hadn't been brought in yet. As a general rule, you couldn't start a meal until the person sitting at the head of the table arrived. So as long as grandfather didn't come, lunch would be put on hold indefinitely. Wait, I thought they were having dinner. I'm pretty sure the last time I read this, they would say, "Oh yeah, it's nighttime." Apparently, it's not. It's actually still afternoon. Not even the appetizers would arrive. Simply put, the silence in this room was caused by our parents enduring their hunger while they waited for grandfather to arrive. However, the grandfather from my memories would always show up on time to meals like this. He was the kind of person who would never be so late that it kept everyone waiting, especially after the entire group had arrived. Oh no, he's dead. Grandfather's pretty late. As far as I can remember, he was always strict about time. Well, that might have been true 6 years ago, but it hasn't been that way lately. In fact, he's off in his own little world so often that he doesn't even show up at family meals. Still, I figured he would at least come down today. Then again, I feel a lot more relaxed and happy without him. Jessica! When her mother scolded her, Jessica stuck her tongue out and looked away. No way around it. Might as well wait until our host arrives. When I glanced at the clock, I saw that it was almost 12:20. Oh, okay, it's afternoon. Whoops. I mean, technically, they are gonna spend the night in the island. Oh. Ushiromiya Kinzo, the H family head of the Ushiromiya head family. This man could be seen in his study. The clock had already passed noon, but he didn't even attempt to rise from his seat. His spectacles on, he built up a growing pile of books with elaborate bindings, which he then read intently. You couldn't really say that he was having too much fun to stop. Rather, he filled the room with a sense of impatience, or perhaps a sense of impending danger, as though every second wasted was a tragedy. In this sealed room, a dense dust danced through the air, which was thick with the stench of chemicals that exuded a mix of suspicious odors. Those odors were somehow sweet and heavy. If anyone with a normal nose came in here, the first thing they would do would be to open a window and ventilate this room. I'm pretty sure Natsuya had done that once. I can't remember. I've watched anime before. The knocking against the study door had been going on for a while. A voice calling, "Father," sometimes mingled with knocks. As Kinzo heaved a deep sigh, he snapped shut the old book in his hand and slammed it on the table. Then he yelled at Kraus, who was still knocking on the door. "Silence! Enough of that racket, you fool! Who told you the door would be open if you but knock? Or I'll crucify that imbecile. Do you wish to suffer the same fate?" Father, this is the day of the family conference, which happens only once a year, is it not? Everyone's gathered down below. Please come out. Kraus called out to his father through the door. Kinzo only shut himself in the study, hating when nearly anyone, even his family, entered the room. For that reason, Kraus had no choice but to call to him from the corridor like this. Molest me not! Just who is this everyone of which you speak? Do you mean the fools trying to drag me out of here? Then kill them all. Tear them apart, use their bodies for firewood, and feed them into the witch's huh? Put a pot in that to boil the wormwood. Force the imbeciles who dare to try to lure me out of here to drink the broth of the apocalypse. I will soak their dregs in liquor. Ah, where is Genji? Call for Genji. Have my demonic absent. Oh my god, I don't. What is this word? Absent prepared. The whispering of the green fairy reaches me no longer. Ah, where is Genji? Bring him here.
He's a bit cuckoo.
On the other side of the door, Kraus, Nanjo, and Genji kept waiting for the master of the house, who stubbornly refused to come out. Looks like he hates me to the core. My voice doesn't reach him anymore. Kraus shrugged as though saying it's no use and smiled bitterly. From the beginning, he hadn't really expected his father to respond to his calls. However, since it was the duty of the eldest son, he had tried as a formality. Kinzo-san, your sons, daughters, and grandchildren have come to see you, have they not? Could you just let them see your face, if only for a short while? Shut up! I thought that was written as "Shut up, bestie." Shut up! Be silent! You dare to admonish me, Nanjo? I never told anyone to get you. I told them to get Genji. Now call for him immediately. Time is short and the apostles are already readying their trumpets. So why can't you foolish sheep understand? Shut up, bestie! Kinzo slammed an old heavy book against the table over and over. That record clearly expressed his great displeasure. Hold on, let me clear my notification for a bit. There we go. Kinzo put his spectacles down and flew up from his chair. He spread his arms wide open as if to sing a packed opera house. Bestie got shush. As if appealing to someone, and yelled, Why? Why is there always something in my way? I would throw it all away. I would offer up everything, and there's only one thing I ask in repayment. Oh my god, he's crying. Oh, Beatrice, if I could see your smile but one more time, I would plunder the smells of the earth and offer them all up to you. Oh, commanders of the legions of Lacos, reap the smells of the earth. Cough, cough, cough. He's crying. Ah, everything is filthy. Everything is irksome. Why must I suffer this impediment on this most precious days? Coughing, coughing, coughing. Call for Genji. Coughing. I have no idea what he's yelling about. Give him water. He's probably lost his mind by now. Kraus, son, it's a little bit harsh to say such a thing of your own father. My father is already dead. There's nothing here but a phantom of what father once was. At any rate, as long as he has no intention of coming out, there's nothing we can do. Kinzo-san. Shocking cough continued to pour from the study. I'm going back downstairs. It would be a waste to let the fruits of Goda's prized cooking talent get any colder. It's one of the few things our relatives can look forward to when they come to this house. Kraus spun around. He looked at his watch, mumbling and acting as though he had wasted time doing something he knew would be in vain. Genji-san. Father is calling for you. Keep him company. Certainly. Dr. Nanjo, let's go eat. If we stay here any longer, this sweet stench will ruin our sense of taste. Without waiting for Nanjo, Kraus went downstairs. Genji urged Nanjo to go eat. Nanjo glanced between the study door and Kraus back as the latter disappeared down the stairs, then let out a deep sigh. Sorry, Genji-san, but please allow me to leave this in your hands. Yes, please, leave it to me. Do what you can to avoid giving him alcohol. That's a habit that's far too difficult to break. Is Genji not here yet? Who dares keep Genji from coming? Where's Genji? Go for Genji! Oh my god. He really wants his bestie or boyfie. Oh god, okay, I'm not gonna joke around anymore. Please allow me to handle the situations here. Very well. Forgive me. Nanjo bowed slightly and descended the stairs. Genji watched him leave, then knock on the study door. Dude, please, shut the fuck up. Master, it is Genji. Genji! Why have you kept me waiting so long? You're alone, I trust. Correct. I am alone. Kinzo returned to his seat in the study and pressed an old-fashioned switch on the table. Uh-oh. What is he planning? After a small delay, the heavy sound of the door unlocking could be heard. Oh, okay. Oh, he locked the door. Okay. Kinzo was convinced that his family wanted to make a mess of his study. Or perhaps someone had once opened the window for some air and ended up scattering things that to him were important research materials, leaving him in a terrible mood. Kinzo had outfitted his room with a formidable lock, preventing anyone from entering without his permission and thereby sealing himself in a jail of his own making. Genji, whom he trusted the most, was relatively free to enter the room, but even that didn't always hold. If Kinzo was in a bad mood, even Genji wouldn't be able to enter. Anyone else would be limited to holding a conversation through the door, unable to even see Kinzo's face. And most of the time, what they got could hardly be called a conversation. However, this didn't trouble the rest of the family much. After all, it just wasn't worth the effort to disturb this aging family head. It was impossible to please and always stayed shut away, immersed in his research. Taking advantage of his refusal to leave his room, he supported his isolation, putting his care entirely into the hands of the servant. Oh, why am I still reading this, guys? Genji, my usual. I'm busy. Yes, sir. Genji headed to a corner of the study. There, suspicious-looking bottles boasting venomous colors were on display. They were actually liquor, but considering the shady atmosphere of this room, one might easily suspect them of being some ghastly poison. My neck hurts. Inside the study, the mysterious collection of books gathered by Kinzo had grown into a mountain. They were bizarre, ancient, off-banned books, but all of them either forbidden, cursed, or sealed. But if you tried to call them old books, Kinzo would fly into rage and say, "Call them grimoires!" There were also many mysterious objects that presumably held some meaning with regards to black magic, like candles suspiciously melted and molded into strange shapes. The constellations drawn on a certain celestial globe contain quite a few shapes that would draw puzzled looks from anyone familiar with today's night sky. The carelessly strewn about books contain many illustrations, all of them of a religious or mysterious nature, including some depicting demonically grotesque subjects or bizarre diagrams of various magic circles, and above all, a sweet poisonous smell filled the room, profoundly assaulting the eyes and noses of those who entered for the first time. Eventually, it must surely make a person go numb and lose their grip on reality. Inside that study, Genji prepared Kinzo's usual drink with a well-trained hand. No one would even think of drinking such an ominous dark green liquid in that complex and ornate glass unless someone first told them it was alcohol. He poured a little into the glass. Then he placed a cube of sugar in a strangely shaped spoon and poured water from a pitcher over it. Strangely, when the transparent water was poured, the green liquid turned a cloudy white. It was a strange optical illusion, as though the water had caused a chemical reaction and made the drink become even more unrecognizable. Oh my god, I can't read. Unrecognizable as liquor. Then Genji added original flavors Kinzo loved, fine-tuning. Okay, I missed that. There was no recipe. Its success was measured only by Kinzo's mood swings when he drank it, and it had taken Genji many decades to learn how to do it right. There's too much text to read. Oh. Genji placed the glass on the tray and walked over to Kinzo. By this time, Kinzo was gazing out the window. Here, master. Thank you. Kinzo had regained his composure and was now unrecognizable as the shouting, screaming, yelling man from a few moments ago. Looking at this man from behind as he tilted his glass and gazed down at the scenery beyond the window, he projected a sense of dignity and intelligence to allow Kinzo to set his glass down at any time. Genji motionlessly waited behind Kinzo and to his left, as though he were a living sideboard. Then, without averting his eyes from the window, Kinzo held out his glass. There was only a mouthful remaining. It was not a gesture intended to set it upon the tray, but a motion to hand the glass over to Genji. Drink, my friend. Your words are too kind for me. No need for ceremony between us. Drink, my friend. Thank you. Genji respectfully received the glass and inclined it a little to taste its contents. After that, he gulped it down. I attempted to imitate your concoction, but no matter how I try, I cannot replicate the taste. The way you make it is pure relish. Thank you very much. It is the fruit of your guidance, master. Kinzo smiled at his loyal subject, who refused to put aside rank even when asked to. However, he was not making fun of him. His smile was relaxed, as though chuckling at a close friend's old unshakable habit. We have grown old together. I stopped counting the years long ago. It is entirely thanks to you, It is entirely thanks to you, master, that I have been able to live like this until today. Kinzo gave a faint smile as if to say he didn't need any flattery. Until now, you have served me exceedingly well. My sons call me eccentric. The servants that were once many have all quit in fear of me. Only you serve me even now. Your words are more than I deserve. My life will not last much longer. My sons are vultures, lazily waiting for my inheritance to fall into their hands. Kraus is a fool who squanders money like water, who throws away 2 gold coins to obtain 1. And then he has the gall to claim that he's earned money. Ava is a slave to money, who thinks of me as a mere chicken. When I die, she plans to use my bones to make a broth. You! That dunce Rudolph just wants to fool around with women. Rosa bought a baby of a man who came from nowhere and about whom we know nothing. Jessica is I cannot read. Jessica is incompetent and uneducated. Georgie has none of it. None what it takes to be a man. Or is it because is it because he's soft spoken? Oh my god, that is fucked up. Kinzo is like, oh, yeah, this kid is so soft-spoken and kind. He's not a man. Ah, shit. A man is not allowed to be a kind person. Battler is a fool who threw away the honor of the Ushamiya family, and Maria's absent to the eye. Why is the Ushamiya blood so incompetent? Is there no one worthy to inherit the glory I built? I know who. Me. Of course I know this is part of Beatrice's curse. I know it. You golden witch, are you trying to take revenge against me in this way? If you want to hate me, then do so. If you want to run away, then run. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. I won't. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run. You belong to me. You must always be in my arms for all my life. You must stay in my birdcage for all eternity, whispering only to me, Beatrice. Why won't you smile back at me? Oh, Beatrice! Oh. After howling, Kenzo choked once again. I hope he dies. Genji set the tray and glass down and rubbed his master's back. Genji's facial expression did not change. It was always like this. Coughing. Thank you, my friend. When his seemingly deranged fit subsided, Kenzo regained his composure once again. It was like seeing two different people, a wild Kenzo and a composed Kenzo living together inside one body. And so, I have decided. I cannot bear to spend my deemed remaining years procrastinating like this. If I have one final coin to bet, then I choose to abandon it to the whims of the demon's roulette. The power of magic is always determined by the risk of the gamble. Like visiting a shrine at the hour of the ox in an ancient Japanese sorcery to nail a cursed doll to a tree. Magical powers produced specifically because of the risk that it will be seen within the 7 days the curse takes. The greater the risk, the stronger the magic power will be. Many miracles that happen in myth might be called the crystallization of shocking magic power, with a low probability. Oh my god, I cannot read. Hold on. With a low probability. Why can I not read that word? Probability of occurrence and astronomical risk. That Moses parted the waters of the sea was not a miracle of God. The risk of the desperate situation cornered by soldiers on the Red Sea shores. Can you fucking stop talking? It's making me tired. If the same thing occurred again on the same scale, the sea would surely fail to part. After all, Moses was able to man. Oh my god, please shut the fuck up. Men. This is the force that can triumph over astronomical odds. Indeed, good fortune that can grasp miracles is magic power itself. To obtain this mighty power, one must face the risk of despair. Those who possess no magical power may call that desperation rather than a bet. However, people who truly do possess magic power can grasp hold of that miracle and make the enigma come into being. And if that power exists within me, I'll seize that miracle. I'll have a chance at making the wish I devoted my life towards come true. Kinzo looked up to the sky outside the window. He spread his arms as if appealing to someone up in the skies. If only I were capable of grasping that miracle. Oh, Beatrice, Beatrice. Show me your lovely smile once more. No matter how much time passes, your face does not vanish. I just want to see your smile, that is all. I'll return everything you granted me. I'll return all the glory I've gained since that day. I don't need fortunes, prestige, or gold. I'll return everything you gave me. I just want to see your smile. I beg you, Beatrice. Oh, stop howling, guy. His nonsensical yells became a scream and then a wail. Kinzo stomped to the floor, tearing at it with both hands. Genji had no choice but to wordlessly watch over his master's lamentations. Can he please die? Ah, finally. Beet rice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the family head's health is not as it best. He seemed extremely sad not to be able to share lunch with you all. Now that you have gathered for this event that occurs about once a year. Goda, let the lunch begin.
Certainly. I shall begin today's lunch on.
Dr. Nanjo, his father's condition. Dr. Nanjo, his father's condition really that bad? Couldn't he have at least let us see his face?
It's more a problem of mood than of physical condition. And for that, there's no medicine I can prescribe.
Hey, are we talking about his mood again? You've gotta be kidding me. We took time out of our schedules during this damn busy autumn season just to come and find out how he's doing. And now he's... what?
Then you should be happy, Rudolph. You now know how he's doing. Oh, what would you rather take my place and try to persuade our ill-humoured father to come join us?
Are you kidding me? Rudolph shrugged. Apparently, though, Rudolph was willing to be indignant at how self-centered his father was. He wasn't particularly... Alhamdulillah. Particularly disappointed to be spared a face-to-face meeting.
Does it seem like his mood will improve before dinner, Cross-Nissan?
I have no idea. If you want to know that, you should ask him directly. Although I think his mood will improve faster if we don't bother him. Genji-san's the only one who can get grandfather out of a funk. It's pretty pathetic though, making the servants deal with your own parents' bad mood. Jessica, don't speak out of turn. She had planned for her complaint to be heard only by her cousins, but it had reached even Krause's ears. Scolded, Jessica scowled and turned away sulking. If he's as cranky as they make him sound, he can't be that terribly sick, right? I mean, they're saying he's in a bad mood, not that he's got no energy, which at least proves he's got his wits about him.
It's because grandfather has especially strong willpower. However, that doesn't necessarily mean his body will be able to keep up. Since last year, they keep saying that he has 3 months left. If the initial diagnosis was correct, grandfather has been prolonging his life by willpower alone. It's right for us to worry about him.
Oh my god, I really love George. He's so cute.
A lunch started with the family's head seat still empty. The man who should be sitting there had already grown old, and the brilliant glory which had rebuilt the Ushiromiya family in the span of a single lifetime was being forgotten. Even though they were beginning the meal with that seat still empty, no one felt it was that odd anymore.
Oh! What? Oh, okay. Oh, God. So it's 1:30, huh? God damn it, this is not nighttime. I thought it was supposed to be nighttime. I was waiting for nighttime.
The Ushiromiya Family Conference was held once every year on the first weekend of October. If a normal family were to hold a so-called family conference, you'd expect it to be nothing more than a reunion of rarely seen relatives who greet each other around buckets of sushi or something. However, part of the family's great fortune had been lent out to grandfather's children, and no one in this family was considered an adult until they had met with success in business. So this meeting literally was a conference. How much of the fortune was invested? What sort of business was conducted? How much profit was earned? As a result, how much of the fortune borrowed from the main family could be repaid?
Or possibly how much more would be borrowed for future business ventures? What lessons had they learned, and what could they learn from their mistakes? It seems that topics like this were discussed very seriously in the past. My dad said it was like lying on a bed of nails. Apparently, it used to be a very serious family meeting where people would laugh in some scornful and angry voices, and some people even got slapped despite their age. However, that had become a thing of the past. Now, with everyone pursuing their own business ventures and achieving success, it was becoming more of a normal yearly get-together. Even so, telling grandfather about recent events was extremely stressful. So while it was nothing more than a simple get-together for us grandchildren, it was still a real stomachache for our parents. The absence of the man who is the source of all this trouble, regardless of the reason, probably made today's lunch taste much more delicious. The phrase, "while the demon is not around, everyone can relax," comes to mind. Anyway, let's introduce Jessica's father, whose face I haven't seen for 6 years. The man sitting to my father's left is his older brother and is Jessica's father, Uncle Kraus. This name sure is easy to read. I don't know. Now that we've gotten used to this string of weird names, our perspective is totally skewed. So Kraus doesn't actually seem that bad. It even starts to sound kinda cool. Just like with Aunt Natsuhi, I didn't have many memories of speaking with Uncle Kraus. He had never been one to chat to children, and I felt like he was always talking with the adults, just like Natsuhi. According to my father's gossip, he was spiteful and violent man. If what he said is true, Uncle Kraus used to be very domineering from his position as the older sibling and was despised by all the other siblings. Though, despite that, their siblings all seemed to be chatting happily together. Oh, well, even if their relationship was bad when they were children, sometimes when people grow up and live apart from each other, their relationships change. That's probably what this was. After all, they all had children of about the same age. By sharing the same family environment, they probably profited by exchanging opinions. Maybe because of that, a short while ago, the circle of parents began to discuss the exams Jessica and I would be taking. Jessica, in order to escape questions about exams from my father on her laugh, purposely faced right while firing off a rapid series of comments, not giving him any chance to get a word in. I don't know if that was my blinking rapidly or was it coming from the TV. I hope it came from the TV because I'm really scared. Okay, moving on. Let's look at the end opposite from Kraus and the others. In the very last seat at the table, an old gentleman with a steady physique sat facing Kirie-san. This was my first time meeting him. I had only just been introduced to him, but it seems his grandfather's personal doctor, a man called Nanjo. I heard he used to own a huge clinic on the nearby island of Nijima. But he turned it over to his son and began living a life of leisure in his old age. He had known grandfather since the very beginning, but when the mansion was first constructed on this island and had built up a relationship over several decades. I thought at first that the two of them might have gotten to know each other through grandfather's suspicious hobbies, but it seems he was actually grandfather's chess partner. I see. That kind of hobby seems very like our grandfather, but with his love of all things Western. Nanjo's probably the only person who could enter Rokkenjima despite being neither a family member nor a servant. He looked like a calm old gentleman as he listened to the discussion between Kirie and the other women who sat near him. Considering how long he stayed by the side of our short-tempered grandfather, his generous heart was probably nothing to laugh at. Still, even he was a family doctor,
Having anyone outside the Ushiromiya family attend the family conference was a little odd. It made me think that grandfather's condition might have worsened so much it would be a major topic of discussion at today's conference. After all, Joji said something like that just a second ago. Something about how we've been getting continuous reports since around last year that grandfather didn't have long to live. It's nice to think about it, but consider how rich grandfather is. At the time of his death, his wealth will suddenly be released, probably along with a fair share of our parents' stomach acid, and it'll lead to ulcers for everyone. After all, this sort of things just get messier when there's more wealth to be divided. There's a good chance they'll be talking about stuff like that at the family conference. Still, it's not like it's got anything to do with us kids. Finally, even though he hasn't shown up, let me introduce our grandfather. The person who should be sitting in that incipient chair is Ushiromiya Kinzo. It really sucks. Everyone else in the family has these weird names, but he's got this perfectly normal one with himself. If only his name were written Kinzo, but he let us call him Goldsmith or something, I'd totally freak out. As you can probably guess by now, he's a frightening person with an extremely short temper. I'm one of his grandchildren, not a son, and I haven't seen him since elementary school. Thanks to that, I have no memory of being beaten myself, but our parents were apparently raised with an iron fist. That earlier conversation between my dad and Uncle Kraus about who should go convince grandfather to come down seems pretty darn funny once you know their background. You can't really tell grandfather's story without covering the pivotal event back before the Showa era. I think I'm gonna stop there. That is really long. How do I save? Is it the system? Save. I'll save it this one. Save it here. That was really long. I'm gonna stop it there. Oh, that's a lot of text. Yeah, didn't expect it to be this long. I really want to see action to happen, but we're still in the afternoon apparently. I thought it wasn't. I thought it's already nighttime, but no. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the stream here. Maybe tomorrow I'm probably going to stream. I'm going to stream. We'll see. My plan for tomorrow. Hopefully it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But yeah, I'm gonna stop now. Thank you for joining my stream. I hope you enjoyed the. Oh well, I'm not enjoying the story. It's too long. I'm waiting for the climax. Not the climax, but the thing that happened with the plot, the real plot. But it's not happening at the moment. So. I hope you enjoyed the stream and I hope you had a great night. I'm gonna thank you for joining my stream and have a good night.